tough the Big Ten is, Hugh. When you look at what you guys have done to start the season, and it's pretty remarkable. What are the main reasons for your team getting off to such a great conference start?
I think consistency has been a big factor for us. And I think the team is working really well, not just in terms of the way they're competing, but practicing. I think we're making some changes in practice that are helping us to be better in the moment of competition as well. So this group also has shown some resilience, I think, and they've also shown that they're very connected. They're all in it together. I think you feel that. So it's great. It's a nice start. We still got a long way to go, but yeah, happy with the performance so far.
When you look back at that weekend on the West Coast where you dropped the two matches out in California, what did the team learn from that? And did you sense in their emotional response to that they were ready to go on a run after that?
First of all, no. I'm just a dumb jock. I had no idea what was going to happen after that weekend. But I think at the outset, the Oregon match in particular was an issue of, hey, here are these things we say we want to do, but this is what we're actually doing. So there was a bit of a credibility gap there that we needed to either resolve or we needed to change the goals of the team for this year. And to their credit, I thought they made some changes. And, Stanford was just a good match. They're a good team, and it was close. Yeah, I think there was definitely a bit of an awakening relative to the fact that generally experience is the teacher. I mean, we can talk about what it is to play these tough matches and how small the margins are between winning and losing, but it's not until you've experienced that and maybe some of the heartbreak that goes with it that maybe you pay a little more attention. Yeah.
How pleased are you as a coach that it really only took one lesson for them to learn that and implement what they needed to implement?
Well, yeah, certainly the response was appropriate. We wanted to get into trouble. We said that all along, right? We were hoping to get into some adversity so we could figure out who we really were before we have to get into this conference play, and we got that. So it's nice to see them respond and kind of build on that as we've been going through these last couple of weeks.
How strong the Big Ten Conference is as a whole this year, and there's no easy games on your guys' schedule.
Yep.
Is that going to be something that will help kind of prepare you for a better end of season run?
We'll find out. I mean, it's yeah, I don't know. It's the grind that either polishes you or wears you down, one or the other. We'll find out. But I do know a couple of years ago, in 2016, we had 4 matches in 8 days against top 20 opponents. We had Michigan, Michigan State, Nebraska, and Wisconsin. All of those went 5 sets. We ended up winning all 4 of them. But we spent a lot of energy trying to get to the end of conference. So it took a while to recover, even to get into the NCAA play. So that's part of what we sign up for is just how awesome this conference is in every sense of the word. And we'll just have to wait and see how that plays into the postseason. We're not even really thinking about that right now. It's just worrying about Illinois. Yeah.
So as a coach, each week you have to adjust your game plan to your opponent. Having those consistent hitters that you kind of touched on earlier, how does that change week by week or match by match?
Well, I think the one thing it allows you is the ability to attack different teams different ways. I think all teams have strengths and weaknesses, and so there's some things you can do against opponent A that you might have to do differently against opponent B. So it gives you some flexibility in how you set up your offense, I think.
We haven't seen as much of Jasmine Martin in the conference season in particular. What's going on with Jasmine?
Nothing. She's playing great and doing well. The team has been playing well with Adana, and certainly Adana's been doing great too. Having a 6 rotation outside hitter has been, I think, a good thing for us overall. So Jazz is in there as a double sub. She's certainly, ready to come off the bench and do stuff. But to her credit, comes in every day, works hard, supports her teammates. She's wonderful. But, it's just the way it went down. And since we've made that change with Adana, the team's been on a pretty good run. So it's hard to make changes when things are obviously going pretty well.
Has Adana adapted to college volleyball more quickly than you might have thought she would?
Yeah, I generally don't come into these things with too many preconceptions about how our athletes are going to perform. We've had a lot of freshmen that have done well before, so it's not unprecedented that she would come in and excel. I think the best thing to me is that she's still making changes and improving and really holding up, as a 6-row kid. And I think there's definitely a weight that you carry in that 6 rotation outside position that's real, and I think she's dealing great with it. Really impressed.
Hugh, it seems like that among certain programs in the top 25, we're seeing more players who are 6'6" or taller. I don't know whether that's an anomaly or a trend. I mean, as you've been on the recruiting trail the last couple of years, have you noticed more taller, skilled players than perhaps you've seen in the last few years?
It's possible. I haven't kept any data to support it, but yeah, and there's a lot of big sticks out there, no doubt. There's some good length. I think the thing I've been more impressed with is just the athletic ability. I think the athletes are faster and jumping higher and hitting harder and all of that kind of stuff. So I'm not sure if we're breeding these superhuman tall volleyball athletes or something. I don't know about the height, but I sure know that the level of play continues to improve at a really fast rate.
Yeah, is that because maybe, again, I'll ask a lot of people this, but I wonder whether maybe taller players who might have gravitated to basketball or maybe gravitating to volleyball now, maybe because the training is better, because there are more clubs, particularly before you get to college, that maybe there's the tools to make you better are there perhaps more than in other sports.
It's certainly possible. It seems like a reasonable hypothesis, but I'll let you do the research. I just know that when we go to these tournaments, the kids keep getting better every year, and there's a lot of really talented young women out there, and that makes it great for everybody. Yeah.
Is that just better coaching, Hugh, just normal development of the sport in the United States?
Yeah, I think so. I think, well, I don't know about better coaching. I'm just thinking the systems, the way they're trying to play is a little more complex than it used to be. There's kids hitting out of the back row a ton these days. That didn't used to happen 10 years ago. There's fast sets to the pin. That wasn't a thing, 10 years ago. On the women's side, not so much. So yeah, it's great to see the gaming evolving at this kind of rate. Yeah.
Touching back on freshmen and what they do, Cece McGraw's been a big presence on defense for your team.
Sure. Yeah.
Coming in last spring, I guess, what did she have to work on most from a coaching standpoint to get to where she is?
I think for Cece and for many of the talented freshmen that come in, they're afforded, due to their talent, they're afforded the chance to maybe get away with a few inefficiencies because the level of the game isn't quite the same as it is at the college level. So when they get here, the things that they could get away with before, they can't get away with anymore. So for her to become, the best CC she can become, there had to be some changes in terms of mainly the defensive discipline and some mechanical things with their passing and some other bits and pieces. But she's certainly open to it and works really hard to make change. And clearly she has a ton of talent. So, yeah, she's heading in a really good direction. All right. Thanks as always.
Thanks, Hugh.
Yep.